Welcome back, True Seeker. In the headlines, actress Laurie Jill Park Lincoln, dead at 63 and a Dallas native. 63 in Dallas likely reminds you of John F. Kennedy, JFK, assassinated in Dallas in 1963. And the supposed shooter, Oswald, shot him from 411 Elm Street. This woman is best remembered for being in Nightmare on Elm Street. And adding insult to injury, she's died 214 days before the JFK assassination anniversary. That is November 22nd, the 326th day of the year. She's dead on the 112th day. So again, dead 214 days prior. And Dallas is the 214 area code. We talked about the Pope dying on 21/4, as the majority of the world writes it at the start of the week on Monday. That was actually the day before she passed. And the acting cardinal in Dallas has become the temporary head of the Vatican. The guy from the 214 area code takes over the Vatican on 21/4. Of course, also big in the news is, and it was put out on the same day that she passed away, was the letter the Pope wrote on the 38th day of the year, preparing himself for the death and the afterlife. And we saw the book that goes in. The gematria of that book title is 214. And don't forget, he put out that letter on the 38th day of the year. Death equals 38. Just like murder, like killing, like RIP. A reminder that when JFK died, Walter Cronkite broke the news, and he said some 38 minutes ago. But yeah, this is just way too obvious. And don't forget that JFK was shot in a Lincoln. There's a lot of parallels between the JFK and Lincoln assassination. Lincoln killed in April. This woman dies shortly after Lincoln's death anniversary, and her surname was Lincoln. Laurie Jill Park Lincoln. Again, born in 61 in Dallas. That was the year JFK took office, 1961. So I just don't know how it could be any more obvious. There's a thin line between Hollywood and what's in the news. The same numbers they encode into the theatrical performances are the same numbers that they literally encode into your news. Pay attention to those numbers they put in the background, the addresses they stick on these homes, the license plates they show in front of you in the movies. You'll see it's the coded numbers. When you know what these numbers mean and the Kabbalistic system of numbers into words and words into numbers, it all becomes abundantly clear. For one more point, her dying on the 112th day of the year, the word theater has gematria of 112. Again, Lincoln died in a theater. And Lee Harvey Oswald was chased through a theater in Dallas. So hard to imagine that would all be coincidence. Anyhow, RIP to Laurie. And again, if you don't know about gematria, look up the song Gematria, the Killing Name. Again, that's the practice of coding numbers into words. That song's very relevant to the Pope's death. Gematria, the Killing Name equals 214. Here's another 214 ritual, one day after the Pope's 214 ritual. And also look up the song Murder by Numbers by the Police, where killing is as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. And that sweet girl calling to me saying, "Hey, Daddy, time to wrap it up." You know, it does stand out to me that the first Friday the 13th movie she was in was in 88, because she did die one day after the Pope passed at 88. And of course, the chump is Mr. 88 Donald. He's got a lot of parallels there with the Kennedys, as we've been covering. The big hoax last year on July 13th, 45 days after JFK's birthday anniversary on May 29th. All right, True Seeker, until next time, thanks to everyone who hits the like and the share. Take care.